Okay, if you've landed on this video, the first thing I want you to know is that in this video, I'm gonna show you how to draw tulips, but I also have a whole series of different flowers that you can watch next. And I have step-by-step worksheets for each and every single one of them. So before we jump in, if you wanna download those worksheets, because there is one for these tulips too, I'm gonna link that down in the description below for you. But otherwise, let's just get right into the step-by-step for how to draw tulips. Okay, so first things first, in regards to tools, you're going to need a few things. So I'm starting with a pencil. This is a Palomino Blackwing, but you can use whatever you want, and an eraser, again, any eraser. And then I'm going to be using Micron pens in a few different sizes. This is really up to you. You can use whatever pens you want. You can even use colors. You can really experiment, but I just really love the feel of Microns, so that's what I'm going to be using. And then in terms of paper, I'm using Rhodia paper. It's just nice and smooth. All right, so we are actually going to do 3 different styles of tulips, but we're going to start with the first one here. So essentially what you're doing first is you're just using your pencil to draw kind of like a cup shape. Depending on the shape of the cup that you draw is going to be basically the shape of the tulip you draw and the size of the tulip. So we're going to first start with one that's pretty open. So I'm drawing kind of like a bigger, wider version of my cup here at the start. I'm going to keep using my pencil for this next part. You could jump right to pen if you're feeling really comfortable, but I like to use pencil for the first one. So basically what I'm going to start doing now is drawing in the petals. So I'm going to draw this petal on the side first, and it's supposed to be a little bit uneven. So you want the edges to be jagged. If you look at tulips, they're not perfectly straight lines anywhere. So you want it to be like a jagged line with some little notches in it. Just kind of freehand that. Next, I'm going to draw the leaf that is in the center. So it's hidden behind those first 2. So you're just seeing the top of it peeking out, again with some notches in it. And then we're going to draw 2 more coming out from behind that one in just a couple random spots. So one on the right and then one on the left. And this one on the left, I'm actually going to add a little bit of dimension to it. So this line is kind of showing the leaf bending over itself, so you can see the outside and the inside of the leaf here. And then lastly, of course, we need to draw the stem. So tulips have a really simple straight stem coming out of the bottom. Next, I'm going to grab my Micron pen and I'm going to start inking the leaves. And I want to use my 0.5 because I like the heaviness of the weight of that line around the edges of my leaves. So I'm really just tracing what I did here. Once I'm done with my outlines, I'm grabbing my much lighter line weight Micron, so the 01, and I'm going to start adding some detail lines. So if you've seen any of my other floral videos, you know how this goes. They basically just are some really light freeform lines, not straight lines. You want them to be curved, and they're coming from the center of the flower. So I'm just adding these everywhere on all the petals until I'm happy. When I'm finished with that, I'm going to erase my pencil lines just so I can see things a little bit clearly. And then I'm going to add a couple more dimension lines with my light pen again. This time I'm going to go into where the leaves overlap, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading with some more short lines just to give it a little bit more dimension. And there you have it. There's our first tulip. Now we're going to do some that are smaller. So now that we've done the first tulip, you know how this goes, but this time we're going to do one that's a little bit more closed. So in order to do that, when you're starting at the beginning with this pencil, you're going to draw that cup shape again, but this time you're going to draw it a little bit narrower so that it's not as open. We're going to do the same thing for a third tulip, even narrower. So this one's basically going to be like a bud. It's pretty much not open at all. You'll see it that it's really, really narrow once we start drawing the leaves, or the petals, I should say. Once you have your shapes drawn, we're going to do the exact same thing with the pencil, just drawing in the petals. And this time I'm going to just kind of play with them until I'm happy. You can do the exact same thing. This is really, really free form. The petals can do whatever you want them to do, really. Just kind of hiding behind each other. You generally have 1 in the middle and then 2 on the sides and some peeking out the back. So just keep playing with this until you're happy with the shapes with your pencil. Now again, for this one that's more closed off, you're going to do the exact same thing, but this time you're going to see that pretty much each of the petals is like pointed at the top so that they're all coming to the center and it's looking like it's a really closed bud. Then of course add the stems like we did on the first one, just a nice straight stem. And then you're gonna grab your Micron again and do the outside of the leaves. And I was using the wrong Micron. I had my 0.3. I thought I grabbed my 0.5. I like the thicker line weight, so I'm just gonna go over this again with my 0.5 and continue tracing all of my pencil lines. Again, once you're finished with that, erase your pencil lines and go in with your lighter line weight and add your detail lines. Once again, adding some more dimension in the spots where the petals overlap each other. Not too much, just a little bit to make it, look a little more 3D. And that's it. We have 3 different variations of the same tulip in different levels of openness. So you could do as many tulips as you want with this formula, draw as many different cup shapes as you want, and then keep going. But for now, we're gonna leave it at that. And there you have it. You're now a professional tulip drawer. That's a thing. So like I said at the start, don't forget to grab all the free worksheets for all sorts of different flowers down in the description. And next up, I'm gonna link you to another floral drawing video, and I'll see you over there.